What is up, everybody? ODC here, fixing my lighting. You gotta love live reviews. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, and by the title, you're probably like, what the hell? What in the hell's going on over there? It is, yeah. So, my area, long story short, has a state of emergency. It's not the first time we've had it. I'll be honest with you. We've had a multiple times state of emergencies where I live. It's like a normal thing, kind of. I expect it at least once a year here in my area. But yeah, we got so much snow within the last like 2 to 3 days that yeah, it's just too much snow to deal with. It's actually not as bad as other times. Like, what was it? I think back in like 2014, it was really bad. We got, what was it? I think we got over 72 inches within 48 hours. So that's like 7 feet of snow. So that wasn't today. That wasn't like, that's not how it is right now. I wouldn't say it's that bad, but that was probably one of the worst. I don't want to say the blizzard of, besides the blizzard of 77, I believe that was. That was really bad, where people were like, people's houses, they couldn't even get out of their houses and stuff like that. But anyway, hello. Hello, Arkham 89, what's up? And Crash Override, what's going on? Yeah. This isn't actually the figure I'm going to do a review of. I just kind of put a figure there. I could put a couple figures there. I was going to do Ghost, but I did promise a G.I. Joe review, so probably get that going. Like I said, I actually have another G.I. Joe review that I shot. I've just been working like crazy for the last like few hours. Let's get a dog in here. Get a little woofer in there. There we go. And we'll get a Spartan in there too. Just to mix things up. The dog looks confused. He's like, "Oh, what's going on here? What?" But yeah. So, long story short, we got a lot of snow. They declared my entire county as a state of emergency. So, and I've been working quite a bit the last couple days. So, it's I finally got a day off. So I decided to celebrate, hang out with you guys, and do a live review. Let's do a live review because the state of emergency is here. I hope you guys don't have as much snow as I do. Cold day, stay inside, review some figures. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I actually posted a picture on my Facebook page. I don't know if you guys saw it, of the outside of my house. So it's just me and Oreo hanging out today. Let me get these out of the way. Let me get those out of the way, and these out of the way, and this out of the way. All right. And him, and him, and him, and him, and we will get our review started. Pew pew. Who am I gonna do a review of? I've done so many G.I. Joe reviews. Well, I actually haven't done that many, but maybe we'll do a review of... this seems fitting, right? I'll do a review of the Ice Dagger. Because why not, right? That's fitting. You know, I wish this thing existed in real life. We could use it right now, you know? We could use that here. I should probably change the title to this video because it doesn't really have a mainstay title, like a main title. But here is the G.I. Joe Ice Dagger. It was released in the POC line. It's a little dusty. Let me clean that off. Gotta love doing a live review, right? A little dusty, you know, not too bad. So there's the Ice Dagger. Looks pretty cool. I believe the Ice Dagger was released in, I want to say 2009, 2010-ish, that era. But pretty cool. I actually picked this up, I want to say, a couple years ago. You can take that canopy off, and it does come with a little driver, which I actually think this is the Snow Serpent Officer that it came with. So he's pretty cool. I like his sculpt. Looks pretty nice. There we go. Put him in front there. There we go. Boy, I gotta clean this thing. But there you go with your Ice Dagger. Boom. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty nice. Figure we'll do a little bit more chatting. How's everybody doing on this frackin' cold day today? All right, so there we go. Put that little missile launcher down. This is a pretty cool piece. I like it quite a bit. I still haven't got the what was it? The Snowcat. I still don't have that. I would like to pick that up down the road, but this is a nice little set. Like I said, it came in the Pursuit of Cobra line. This is the Cobra Ice Dagger. Looks really cool. It does come with this Snow Serpent as a driver. He is the Snow Serpent Officer due to his red, I want to say basically his red, what you call it, tack vest. And then we've got the red goggles right there. So it looks pretty cool. I believe the regular Snow Serpent actually had just brown, and then this guy just has white. It's really nice paint shading going throughout the fur, though. I really like that. I actually really like the Snow Serpent's design quite a bit. The only really issue that I have is that these, I was never really a big fan of these legs. That's the one I think mark I have against this figure, is that the legs, for some reason, they were also used on the Pursuit of Cobra Crazy legs. They're just not just the best legs to, I don't know. I mean, he stands fine and everything, but some of them come really warped, and then the feet come sometimes warped, and then he doesn't like to stand. Like this guy actually stands pretty well, but some of them, some of the Snow Serpents have issues. And then if you try to get them on the display stand, as you can see here, there's 2 peg holes at the bottom of his feet on each foot. And he does come with his little snowshoes. But if you want to get his snowshoes on and then peg him onto his display stand, it's kind of a pain to do, because the pegs on those old bases are so shallow. And then the peg holes on here, I mean, they're actually deep enough. But the problem is that once you got the snowshoes on, then you try to peg them into the other hole, the hole from the base, it doesn't seem to want to stay pegged all that well. That's just something to note, something to point out. But Tim Casa, what's up? Gaz, how's it going, buddy? How you guys doing today? Yeah, we got a state of emergency in my area. I wish I could. I actually posted a picture on my Facebook page, on the ODC That's Me Facebook page, if you guys want to check that out, of how kind of crappy it is out right now. But yeah, my whole county has a state of emergency right now. So, and the reason why I haven't been getting reviews out is just because my work schedule's been crazy, because I do stuff for the city. So, but I've been working quite a bit of hours. So anyway, I just want to say right here that this is another one of my favorite kind of like snow themed pieces, or cold themed pieces. I love the Ice Dagger, so cool. I like that the treads are kind of they're like a rubbery material. I actually like that quite a bit. It's not as like a thin rubber as some of the Pursuit of Cobra Hiss tanks had. These are much more durable. I want to say it's a much more thicker rubber than those, but you can lift the tracks off if you want to. You can actually detach the tracks if you want to off of this roller right here. So there's that little bit of information to point out about the tracks, or the blades, I should say. I really like this design. It's very unique looking design for this. I think it looks pretty cool. Also, the big roller on the back. Man, I wish I could drive this thing to work. Could you imagine? You just see ODC coming to work, and he just I'm here, guys. I'm on time. You know, but this thing's pretty cool. I like the design. I like the overall colors for this. Even I don't even mind the red. The red does bother some people, but I think it looks pretty cool overall. I like the black and the gray that we have here with the red included, and we even have like a little red windshield wiper right here. I think that's pretty cool. Looks pretty nice. Very simplistic when it comes to what it is, what it comes with. The Snow Serpent, I think he came, this is coming off the top of my head now, and I'm shooting this live, so try to understand here. I'm pretty sure that he came with his snowshoes, and he did come with an AK-47. And I believe it was the snowshoes were either gray or white, and the AK was gray color. So there is that. I wonder if I actually put his stuff in there. No, I did not. I got to clean this thing out. It has just been sitting for quite some time. Great preparation there, Anthony. Great job. Anyway, this is, like I said, a pretty unique design. I actually really like that it's got a nice little bumper right here on the front. And then, in case, it rams into something, it also has a tow hook, or a winch, I should say, in the front. So that's pretty cool. I like that nice little sculpted design right there for that. And then flipping around to the side here, if you move these ice daggers out of the way, because they do have articulation right there. Looks really good. Nice black covering piece right here. Then we have some red for this little, almost looks like footsteps. You just step up into the ice dagger right there. So you don't have to step up on the blades. But looks really cool. We got some more design right here. We've got, looks like to be the axle right here for the back of the ice dagger right here. Nice charcoal gray color. Looks really good. Flipping around to the other side, it pretty much mirrors the other side, which I just pointed out. And then we have up top, we have, I guess if you wanted to consider these just pretty much just like laser guns or guns on top, like a turret, you can consider that. There's not really a section for you to hang another figure off due to the big spindle wheel right here on the back, this big, huge Kevlar-looking armored wheel. At least that's what it looks like to me. Everything else looks pretty cool. We have like a little window right here. We have another thing stuck on my finger. We have a window right here, window right here, window right there. Looks really nice. One figure can fit nice and tight in there, so there's no issues there. And we'll get to fitment as far as fitting a vintage figure, fitting a modern G.I. Joe figure, and fitting a Marauders Task Force figure in there in a little bit. I like the little subtle design that this has. It almost looks like a little bit of ice, kind of, it gives off that ice detail right there. Like there's some ice being chipped away on the paint. So nice little paint detail right there. Looks pretty cool. I like the overall sculpt and detail of the inside of the ram, the front ram piece right here. It just continues on the inside where they didn't really have to do that, but they did. So I dig that quite a bit. Like I said, the windshield wiper is articulated, so you can move that back and forth. And I also like the fact that they included the little bit of clear window right here, and then they kind of made the rest foggy, like there's still some ice or snow on the window, but it gets all cleared up. And this thing will not come off. I don't know what that is. It's a weird dust or something. There we go. I usually dust. I like to think I do a pretty good job dusting my figures, but it's tough. It's tough. I know. Anyway, but I like that little design here with the clear window, giving off the illusion that the windshield wiper is actually wiping away something. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, right now, I mean, if you do have snow in your area, and if you don't, then I envy you. But if you do have snow in your area, you might want to consider maybe doing a little nice little display with this vehicle right here. I think it goes for around now. I think it's going a little bit up in price. If you could find this for around 10 to 20 bucks, I'd say pull the trigger. Um, I have seen some people buying them in on card for around 30, 35. I think that's a little bit much, seeing as I think this only went for around 9 or 10 bucks, maybe 12 tops back in the day. But that was almost going on 10 years ago. So, um, but anywho, I digress. I like this vehicle quite a bit. It does grab your eye, even when it's kind of all bundled up right there. I think it is a nice eye grabber. It's a smaller vehicle, and like I said, here's the Snow Serpent standing next to it. So it's a one-man vehicle, but I think it's pretty cool. If you get a couple of these, I think it's a nice little display for your Arctic display. Whether you do have one inside when you want to shoot some photos out in the actual elements, you could go that route. But overall, I really like this vehicle quite a bit. And I feel like not a whole lot of people maybe talk about the Ice Dagger that much because, I don't know, whether it's, like I said, people not, having the elements, living around a whole lot of the winter elements um, seasonally, or whether it's just they don't really have a spot to display them as far as the theme goes. I think as far as Arctic displays go, I've always been a fan of them, even though I hate the snow and I hate the cold. um, I still think that Arctic displays do hold a place, especially with G.I. Joe, seeing it they go anywhere in the world to fight Cobra. Like I said, I already kind of talked about the figure, but I'll get a little bit more in depth with the Snow Serpent here. I actually like, this might be one of my favorite Snow Serpents just because of the extra bit of paint detail that you have here with this figure. Like I said, you have obviously the red, it almost looks like a parachute vest right here. But you also have the red goggles right here, and I think that looks really good. Very pleased with the red goggles. I'm also very happy with the extra amount of paint detail going throughout the fur right here. So it's pretty much just like a white plastic, and then you've got some almost like a light brown or a tan for some weathered look going throughout the gauntlets. I guess you could call them gloves. Glove gauntlets, and then you have obviously the fur for the upper torso piece, and that is a separate piece, so if you did pop this head off, you could take this piece off. But I think the figure overall looks really good. I've always liked the Snow Serpent's design, and it looks really nice. A nice little cobra symbol right here for the left arm. You've got some pouch. You got a pouch, excuse me, on the right arm. Flipping around to the back, you've got obviously a backpack peg hole right there in case you want to attach a backpack right there. Obviously, the legs look pretty cool. We've got some pouches on the front, which I always like the design of pouches on the front as well as on the side. The snow boots look pretty cool. I like the sculpt. Sometimes these snow boots just come in a little bit sometimes with some QC issues. Sometimes they're a little bit off as far as the sculpt goes, but overall, and that causes standing issues. But overall, I think that looks really good. We do have I already explained the two peg holes at the bottom of the feet while they're there. As far as his articulation does go, his head can swivel side to side. And he can look up just a little bit. He can look down a little bit like that. It's not really that much past neutral position, which is right there. But it can move a little bit. He can pivot a little bit side to side. It's a little bit hindered here due to the fur piece right there. But if you do pop the head off like that, you can remove that fur piece and then put the head back on if you wanted to. If you didn't want the fur piece there, or if you're maybe doing an indoor display and you don't want to have his fur piece on, he does get almost, I want to say actually almost the same range of motion, maybe a little bit more, but not too much of a difference. He definitely does get a little bit more pivot side to side. No, well, we got a little jive turkey, not a whole lot. It's more so the torso moving. So no, not really a jive turkey there. Unfortunately, no turkeys here in this review. The arms do go up about that far. They go down, a little bit hindered due to the sculpting of the fur. It can go forward and back. Can do a full 360 rotation if you force it. But he does have a single bend at the elbow, a swivel at the elbow, a swivel at the wrist. Oh no, he doesn't have a swivel at the elbow. Does he? Yes, he does have a swivel at the elbow. I don't know what's wrong with me. A swivel at the wrist, and that's pretty much it. So no, or swivel at the forearm, not the wrist. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself here. So no wrist articulation, which is unfortunate, but this is all obviously on an older mold. This is on the 25th anniversary body mold, so they didn't have the best wrist articulation. This one I want to say is on the better side. He does hold his weapons nice, a little bit nicer than some of the other 25th anniversary figures. I want to say the majority of the 25th anniversary figures don't have necessarily the best range of motion, best articulated points. They more so look the part. Some face sculpts are a little bit dated. I mean, definitely comparing them to what we get nowadays for 3 3/4 inch figures, you can definitely tell that they're much more dated. Especially comparing them to Pursuit of Cobra head sculpts, they're far dated as far as 25th anniversary ones go. The legs split, do the splits about that far. Nicely done with the splits. Legs go forward and back. No upper thigh swivel. Not that we would get that. Double jointed knee, which doesn't get the full range of motion, but good enough. Not really a complaint there. And then we have an ankle hinge, which is really well done as far as the pointing the toe and pointing the heel a little bit. That's neutral right there. And then we don't have like a pivot or anything like that. We do have a swivel right there. And as you can see, that ankle was so new that swivel actually caused some paint to pop off. You can see right there some red paint. So I haven't been using that swivel that much, I guess. He's been pretty much sitting in that ice dagger the whole time. That's pretty much why. But love that face sculpt. I really love the face sculpt of the snow serpents. I think it looks so good. Overall, I want to give this definitely a 2 thumbs up for the figure. I've always liked this this design, and I think it still works. I would, maybe down the road, if we ever do get some new G.I. Joe figures, who knows? I think we will down the road. Oh, he also has a diaphragm joint. Sorry, I didn't point that out. Fail boat. Population 1. There's a swivel right there, and he can kind of pivot side to side. He can crunch forward and back, but he does swivel as well. So, sorry for skipping that, guys and gals. But, yeah. It's a little bit outdated. I would like to see, an update for this. Maybe we get some 3 3/4 inch figures up down the road. Maybe from Hasbro, if they include some upper thigh swivel, I think that would be a plus for G.I. Joe. Obviously, I don't even think Marauders doesn't even do an upper thigh swivel. They kind of have a little bit of a pivot back and forth due to the ball joint, the way it sits. And it's more of actually a natural thigh swivel because you kind of swivel your thighs at the higher point where your legs connect to your hips. So, but anyway, I digress. I'm going into anatomy now. Anyway, the like I said, the snow dagger can fit the snow serpent in. My hinge is just a little bit loose. It's not a big deal if yours does this, but mine does become a little bit loose and wants to pop off a little bit. It's not a big deal, like I said. But actually, before I get to that, here's the inside of the snow serpent, the ice dagger of the snow serpent. The ice dagger looks pretty cool. You got some inner workings right there. You can see a graded floor right there. Looks pretty cool. Not a whole lot of stickers or anything like that this came with. Pretty much just came the way it is. And then if you want to fit the figure in there, you just kind of slide him on in there, right? And he fits so nice and snug in there. And you actually have quite a bit of room, more room than you think in this smaller looking cockpit. It's kind of deceiving. But you can shut that, it clips into place, and you don't have any issues with him staying in there. I would, it would have been nice to make this a two-man vehicle, but I think the one-man vehicle works just fine. Not every GI Joe vehicle needs to be a multi-manned vehicle. It serves its purpose. Obviously, the driver is also the gunner here, so he's got to be extra skilled to not only drive this thing the very unique way that it does drive. So it pretty much digs into the snow like this, and then it brings the roller brings that up, and then it flips forward, and then it brings it back up like so, and that's pretty much the feature right here. Sometimes it gets stuck on that track for some reason, but overall, I really like this. Like I said, the driver definitely has to be skilled to not only drive this thing, but also be able to defend himself. As far as the turret does go, it can bend backwards, so if you want to get that looking like that, I think it looks pretty cool like that. Or you can have it going forward, but that's as far as forward as it's going to go. I don't think you'll necessarily want to have it like that, but to each their own if you want to. It can also swivel at a full 360 rotation. And it can pivot up. This is neutral right here. It can pivot up. It can pivot down. So if you wanted to have him firing at someone behind him, you could. Maybe he has some sort of digital display right here where you can see behind him. Obviously, he doesn't have a rear view mirror, not that he would need it, but, maybe I like to think that he has some sort of inside digital display where it can actually show if something is following behind him. But it's nice. I think the overall package of the Ice Dagger looks really good. I like the Snow Serpent design. And let me see if I have a couple other Snow Serpents, or at least one other, just to compare to you. Yes, I do. Excuse me. All right. Get that out there. Okay. All right. Okay, so here we have, I believe this is just the regular 25th anniversary one. There was another version. There's quite a bit of different versions of him. Now, he does come with a backpack and all that. This is pretty much what the 25th anniversary one comes with. Right there, he comes with an AK-47. I gave him the sniper rifle. Just, why not? It's pretty much just a Dragunov sniper rifle. But the backpack right there, obviously this isn't supposed to sit like that. It looks a little ridiculous. But here's the backpack. Overall, I like what he comes with. I like the sculpt of the backpack. I think that looks, oops, there it goes. My God. Obviously, the sculpt of the backpack looks very nice and unique for the Snow Serpent. It's got a nice little pouch right there on the back. And then it looks like he's got like maybe some sort of tent or sleeping bag up there. It's kind of locked in place. A little bit of paint shading would have went a long way on this backpack, I believe. But it also has a peg right here, in case you want to attach something to the side of that backpack right there. It looks pretty cool. But he also comes with his snowshoes, which is pretty cool. Let's see if I can get this off there. There we go. The snowshoes look really cool. I like the fact that they actually come with snowshoes. That's pretty cool. And as you can see, the two pegs on there, or the peg hole and the peg, are on there. This is what I was talking about before, why he has two peg holes at the bottom of his feet. You want to take the small peg and put it in the smaller hole on his heel, and then you want to take the other one and pop it in the same place on the opposite side, and then you can see. Now, this is what kind of baffled me with the 25th anniversary one. It's like you gave him two peg holes at the bottom of his feet, but you only gave us a stand with one peg. Why? Why would you do that, 25th anniversary? And then you want to just simply go like that. And that's kind of the issue that I had, was that the pegs are kind of shallow, not only on the snowshoe, but then the peg on the stand isn't long enough. I feel like if it was like I don't know, just a little bit longer, these wouldn't have that much of an issue staying on the display stand. But overall, you can get them to do it. It's not a big deal. But this is just a little comparison with the two. Let me get him out of there so you can see the full comparison. Is that clipped into place that much? Go. No, he doesn't want to come out, so we'll just lift this up so I can get a better handle on it. Come on, get out there. Now he doesn't want to leave. He doesn't want to leave his ice dagger. All right, there we go. And here's a little comparison with the two. So there's the differences. And you could probably, you know, if you really wanted to, you could just interchange stuff with these. You could interchange the vest, the fur. If you wanted to interchange the forearms, you could probably just heat up these forearms, pop them off, and put them on the other figure if you wanted to. Obviously, the head sculpts you can swap too. Pretty much the majority of anything you could pretty much swap on here. And see, now his snowshoe is constantly coming off because that peg is so shallow. You know, it's so shallow. It's too shallow. But there you go. That's a little comparison with the... Oh, there you go. See. But anyway, I digress. Let me get him out of the way. Let's bring the ice dagger back in here. And now the canopy popped off again. Get on there. There we go. And that is pretty much it for this set. Looks pretty cool. I've always been... had a fondness in my heart for this little set, and I don't really think it goes for very much, though, like I said earlier. You use it, Gaz says he uses it more as a snowmobile rather than the way it's supposed to be. I mean, that's fine. I mean, you can use it any way you want, you know. Any way your heart desires. It's the best part about collecting action figures in general. You can use it any way you want, you know. All right, so let's get a Marauders Task Force figure in here. I already showed you how a regular figure, a modern figure fits in there. And we'll also get a vintage figure in there. Who should we get? Who's going to be our test dummy here? Okay, we'll get Recoil. And who's it gonna be? Okay, we'll just use him. We used our test dummies here. All right, so we got the vintage Recoil right here. And you obviously know he's gonna fit in there just fine. Come on, get in there. He's gonna fit in there just fine. Oh my God, he's got so much room. You can almost fit two of those in there. Can't even see them in there. So that's a vintage figure. Now we'll just get our tech-savvy guy in there in a second. JD, what's up? Oop, come on. They don't like coming out of this thing. They don't like it one bit. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm looking at my canopy, I think it's snapped. Yeah, I think it snapped. That's why it keeps popping off. Oh, the ravages of time. Can't win them all, right, guys? Can't win them all. We'll get our Marauders figure in here. And he fits in there perfectly. Thank God it snaps into place. You can see his head in there, kind of bobbling around. So, nice fitment overall. Don't have any issues. We'll just leave him in there. We'll get this guy back in front. Okay, and I think that's, I don't know, that's pretty much it. But, JD, what's going on? How are you all doing today? I hope you guys don't have the weather I do, because that would suck. I did get, just to point this out, I did get a message from Jason Tran, and I also got a message from Low 76 Monty. I still have not gotten a message from Invader 6 Dark Lord Cobra 66. And I believe he was the winner of the Marauders Task Force $30 gift card. I'm just letting you know. Please do message me on Facebook, please. It's just a lot easier that way. I don't know if he's tried to contact me. I don't know if he even knows that he won. But yeah, please contact me because I haven't gotten anything back. Oh, Tim. There goes Tim. If he doesn't take it, I want it. I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He probably didn't see the video yet, or, you know. Nope, I'll take it. It'll be a duel between Tim and Woodman. The triple threat match. But yeah, I don't know, I might have to maybe contact him. If he doesn't answer my contact, then maybe I'll do another random drawing for it. But it hasn't been a full week yet, so I can't even. The weather's headed your way. Oh boy, have fun, enjoy. It's already like pitch black outside. I can't see anything, like completely pitch black. But yeah, it's pretty crappy. I was actually going to show you guys how bad it is out, but you can't see anything. So. But yeah, I've been kind of huddled up inside all day, man. You know, all freaking day. Plowed this morning. Yeah. How bad is it in the Boston area or in the Massachusetts area, Woodman? Because it's pretty bad here. 6 inches. I wish we had 6 inches. Shit. I wish. Minus 25 here in Chicago. Oh, yeah, you guys will get the wind. You're the windy city. You're going to get that. We got the friggin' snow. It's like, I want to say it's about negative, I think it's -6 here. But we got pummeled with snow, like we always do, you know. It's like Planet Hoth. Like I was saying in the beginning of the stream, I don't know if you guys saw it, but or heard it, but back in 2014, we got over 72 inches in 48 hours. So that's like 7 feet of snow. Wind chills at minus 25. Yeah. It probably feels like minus 25. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. What was it? I went to Vermont. I want to say about a couple years ago. And it was actually to pick up a hardtop for my Roadster. And I drove all the way to Vermont. And, you know, there's a very good reason why I decided to drive all the way to Vermont to get it. And it was due to the, you know, hardtops for Roadsters are very rare to come by. And I got a really good deal on this one. And I wasn't going to have it shipped because it's made of fiberglass and it'll get damaged. So I decided to rent a truck and drive all the way up to Vermont to get it. Oh my God. It was so cold. This was back in December. And usually, you know, weather doesn't really get bad until around January, February, and even some of March. Like, what was it? I think last year we had snow until April in my area. So, but anyway, I digress. I went all the way to Vermont to get this thing. It was like so cold. You couldn't stand outside for more than 5 minutes because you would feel like you're starting to freeze to death. It was like, I think it was minus 11 in Vermont in December. I think it was like 2 years ago. And maybe about a year and a half ago, whatever. But it was minus 11, but it felt like minus 20 or something like it. Was crazy. So I feel bad for you guys in Chicago, man. You got 2 inches. That's it in New York City. Oh, I envy you. Yeah, it's like -6 here in Buffalo. -6 here, and then we got, I want to say, a few feet of snow, as usual. You know, it's a normal thing here. It's not like it's anything too crazy. Speaking of cold and pissing me off, there's never been a Killer Frost action figure. Killer Frost? I thought there. Oh no, there. I don't think there was. I thought DC Collectibles did one. They should do one if they haven't. Dem Guts, what's going on? The windshield here is polar vortex bullshit. Oh yeah, it's kind of crappy everywhere. I mean, what was it? There's I have friends in Texas and they're like, "Oh my god, it's so cold." I'm like, "Don't I messaged my friend. I said, "Don't even, you better delete that post." I don't want to hear cold out of you. You're in Texas. It's probably 50 degrees. I don't want to hear cold out of anyone from the south. I hate the cold. I can't stand it. Oh my god. I was not meant to be born here. I should have been born down south. I love the heat. I can't stand the cold. I hate it. I hate shoveling it. I hate plowing it. I hate staring at it. I hate being cold. Oh, I can't stand it. I hate it. I need to move is what I need to do. I need to just move. Plus, you have to buy like snow clothes. Like there's seasons that you have to buy, like spend extra money on things for. Like I have to get a snowblower. That's like $2,000. Okay, you have to get shovels. You have to buy ice. You have to, you don't have to do much of that stuff if I go down somewhere that's warm, I don't have to buy extra clothes. I don't have to buy a plow or a snowblower or salt, or some places use sand. I think salt's a little bit. I know it's not better for cars, obviously, but sometimes sand will actually get sucked into your air intakes, and then it blows your motor too. So it's not as. I would prefer, if I have to choose between sand or salt, I'd go with salt any day of the week. Plus, I think salt works a lot. It's more efficient. See, people always say they love snow, but when they get 7 feet of snow, and they're like, "Oh, I hate it. This sucks. I can't leave my house." But if you get like 2 feet of snow or 2 inches of snow, it's like, "Oh yeah, I love the snow." 2 inches of snow and it's 30 degrees out. Yeah, oh yeah, no big deal. Use a flamethrower. Damn guts, just move to Buffalo, man. You'll love it here then. You'll get 5 feet of snow one day, then it'll melt, because this is how Buffalo weather is. Ready? Let me explain Buffalo weather. It is bipolar weather over here, okay? You'll get 5 feet of snow, and then 2 days later, it'll be 50 degrees. It'll all melt. This is how people get sick all the time. It'll all melt, and then it'll go back to being 2 degrees, and then everything freezes because it's all wet. Then you have ice, right? And we live right near a lake, so we get lake effect snow, right? And then you get another blizzard on top of that, especially if the lake doesn't freeze. Oh, then we're screwed. It's all over. We're done. And give you 10 inches and you'll be happy. Yeah, New England weather. Yeah, I bet. I took a action figure expert. I took a couple. I took a photo of on Facebook on my Facebook page. you want to check that out. It's not a very good photo. I just kind of opened up the door and took a photo and said I'll be doing a live review at 5. So Marauders. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed your comment there, Woodman. So Marauders released new stuff. It's selling out so fast. I put in an order last night for a specific character. So expect a review whenever the hell I get my figure in the mail. You know, like I said, there's obviously going to be a delay due to this weather right here, but usually I get it within Marauders. I get it with a couple days. Oh, you're in West Seneca? Okay. Do you have a foot of snow in West Seneca? There's got to be more than a foot of snow in West Seneca. How does West Seneca only have a foot of snow? West Seneca is a suburb of Buffalo, okay? I'm trying to explain it to everybody else. West Seneca is a suburb of Buffalo, and West Seneca is right near like South Buffalo. I live in the North Buffalo area. So like North Buffalo right now is getting pounded, but South Buffalo always gets a ton of snow. And usually West Seneca gets a ton of snow. So it's always the southern tier that gets the most snow, but for some reason, you know, North Buffalo's getting pummeled right now. It happens, you know. We trade between North and South Buffalo. It happens. I actually have a couple of friends that are bartenders, and they're like, "Oh, showed up for work, no big deal. Let's go. State of emergency, what? I'm here to make money. Come to the bar." That's how it is, you know. You wouldn't mind the snow if you didn't have to plow and clean it up. Yeah, that's half the battle, you know. Snow Serpent was your second figure as a kid? That's awesome, man. Yeah, he's got a great design. I love it. I think it looks fantastic. Let me get the other one in here. He keeps falling over. This damn those stupid pegs, man. There we go. Yeah, I love his design. Looks good. I have the Rise of Cobra one, but he's got no head right now because I was using it for the Plague custom. So, but this is what the Rise of Cobra one looks like. It's a good one. I like I actually like this gun that he comes with the wrapping on it. Looks pretty cool. So, I always liked this one. It's just a different color. Obviously, we've got like kind of like a white and gray with some camo. I actually really like the camo too. The camo looks really nice. But yeah, I used that head for the Plague. One of the Plague guys over here. This gentleman right here. So, there you go. I'm actually going to paint the helmet, I think. Because you can get Snow Serpents pretty cheap, you know? But, yeah, I think overall I really like the sculpt of this, too. Looks really good. I like it a lot. Yeah, this is the Rise of Cobra one. Yep. What did I say? Didn't I say Rise of Cobra? You got the Crimson Guard snake armor and the barbecue. Nice. I think I have barbecue somewhere. I think he's downstairs with all my. I put all my 25th anniversary stuff and like a Real American Hero stuff downstairs. I should bring it up because I have room to bring it up here. Because I'll be honest with you guys, I've been on a NECA tirade, I should say, tirade lately. Like I just picked up Ghost the other day. I've been finding some pretty damn good deals on eBay with NECA stuff lately. You know, I usually try to stick within my budget of around $30 for NECA. That's my budget. Some of them are difficult to get. Like a lot of NECA figures go for right around, you know, anywhere from $30 to $70, depending on the rarity of the figure. But Ghost is becoming. He actually came out not too long ago. He came out in 2017, and I know all about the knockoffs. I know all about them. Pretty much any NECA figure from China is a knockoff. I picked one up, and I have a video set up for it just to show the differences between the two. But I have my original Shaman Predator, and then I just picked up a knockoff Shaman Predator. So I'm going to do the comparison between the two just to show the differences. But I've had another knockoff before, and I know what to look for. Like if you purchase them, you got to check your sellers, where your sellers are from. Any seller that's selling a NECA figure from China, it's a knockoff. So it's automatically. You got 3 knockoff Revoltechs, and they're great. Yeah, I mean, I really don't mind getting knockoffs as long as they're quality. The other NECA knockoffs that I want to get is the old Ninja Turtles, the old first appearance Ninja Turtles where they came in those individual cases. You can get the whole set for like $50, but they're knockoffs. But they're actually, because they're knockoffs, they're made with a better quality plastic, and the original NECA versions were kind of made chintzy. This is still when NECA was having problems with their plastics, and they started having snapping issues. The paints weren't as great on those turtles, but the knockoff ones that you can get the whole set for $50, the articulation's better, the QC's better, and the paint apps are actually, I think, a little bit better. It all depends on the price, yeah. Yeah, some knockoffs will still be expensive. You got to look for those, too. You thought everything was made in China? The majority of it is. That's the thing. Like, some knockoffs are actually the original molds that the factories that they'll go through have. And that's why, I mean, people call them knockoffs, but they have the original tooling. So what do? They take that tooling and they use it, you know? You know, there's good knockoffs and then there's bad ones, and then you get the people that are, you know, I mean, I get it. I get it from a certain standpoint why some collectors are very purists when it comes to specifically not buying knockoffs. I understand the let me get him out of the way. Sorry. I understand the thought process behind it. You know, oh, you're just throwing money to someone else. You should be throwing money to the company that you want to support. You know, it's like, trust me, I've thrown enough money to the company. You're definitely getting the Revoltech Deathstroke. Nice. The knockoff one? Cool. Yeah, man. Hey. You know, it's difficult, especially, and I see this, you know, it's difficult when you let's say you missed out on a figure or you passed on a figure. Like I passed on this guy right here, and I'm still been kicking myself for it. It's the Stalker Predator, and now he's going for around $50, and I just don't want to spend that much money, 50 to 60, I should say. I just don't want to spend that money, and I remember seeing him at Toys R Us, and I'm like, you know, maybe I'll get him. And then this was back when these came out in 2016. And I passed on him, and now he just goes for crazy money. So I might consider actually getting a knockoff and just seeing how good the quality is. But you can get a knockoff for $22. You know, and that's actually cheaper than retail for some of these. Some of these were like $25 retail. They need to pay tax and stuff. You can't spend 60 to 80 for a 6-inch figure. I think it depends. I think it depends. Depends on the figure. Depends on how much you care about the character or the figure itself. How good the figure actually is. You know, there's a lot of variables there. It all comes down to personal preference. I mean, I totally get if you don't want to spend $60, $80, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I've spent $60 to $80 on figures before. It's just, I'm not gonna lie. As a collector, there's figures that are very rare that I just happen to come by that are just happen to be expensive. It happens. You got the Hulk knockoff. Its leg fell off as I was taking it out of the packaging. Oh God, I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me in a figure. Boy, that actually recently happened to me because I picked up the NECA Aliens Bishop, the not the battle damage one, the regular one, and his leg just fell off. Like that was about a week ago. So, but that's an older NECA figure. It's you gotta be really careful with them. The newer ones, I like to think that they've improved with their plastic rigidity. I haven't really had any breakage issues with any of the new bodies. I've never really, I'll be honest with you guys, I have never really had a major quality control issue with a G.I. Joe. Obviously, you got your issues with your O-ring guys. Like here, I'll show you, I'll show you my old Sarge that he just disintegrated on me. I don't even think I have the metal pieces. It was actually the metal pieces inside the. Here you go. I'll just show you. This actually came with my warthog. Get him out of the way. Him. This just happened about a month ago. I mean, obviously it's an old figure, and I get it. But as you can see right here in the leg, what was it? I think I moved one of his legs, and he was just sitting normal. He usually is just standing. I just moved his leg, and the whole crotch T-joint piece for the metal just disintegrated. It just like some of it actually turned into powder. I was like, how old is this thing? 10,000 years old? Felt like I just opened up the Ark of the Covenant, for Christ's sake. But yeah, he just completely just disintegrated, fell apart. Actually, I think you could still see some residue from the inside of his leg. How when it's kind of like it exploded almost. It was like poof. But that happens. Obviously, it's an older figure though. But I've never really truly had an issue. I'm trying to think. I don't think I really actually had an issue. I want to say with some of the FSS figures, those are kind of, I don't know what happened with those figures. But as far as like quality control goes for Pursuit of Cobra, I've never had a Pursuit of Cobra figure break on me, ever. I've never had a Rise of Cobra figure break on me. I've never had, but some of the FSS figures, I want to say that the quality for the plastics have gone down a little bit. I don't think they used the same quality of plastic that they did with Pursuit of Cobra. Obviously, quality control issues with the paint is a different, but I'm talking like major functional issues, like falling apart, breaking, arms snapping off. Yeah, the cracking at the elbows, the thumbs, obviously, the thumbs would snap off. Your 50th anniversary, Dusty 2-pack, his eyes were painted on the side of his face. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, the paint on the 50th anniversary ones were probably some of the worst. Yeah, you can always buy the and the T-bar off. Yeah. He's going to get fixed because he's in pretty decent shape. I mean, there's not a whole lot of scrapage with the hair paint. I still have his hat. I don't know where his hat. Where did his hat go? Where'd his hat go? Oh boy! There's his hat. And whenever it came to Sarge, I always preferred his hat to just be sculpted on the head. I never liked him having a removable hat. because he doesn't really remove his hat that much. So he'll get fixed. I can take all the stuff apart. It's not hard. It's easy to do. So he'll get fixed. It's on the list. It's just not the top priority, you know. But and obviously it's an old figure. I'm not saying like, oh my God. I'm not complaining about it, you know. Just kind of pointing out. Oh, there he goes, as usual. I'll just take him off this base, for God's sake. Put your snowshoes on, mister. Oh, are you going to stand? There you go, buddy. Good job. Give him the sniper rifle. Give the officer a sniper rifle, why not? See if I can get him to two-hand this some bitch. Oh God, you're gonna two-hand it in the weirdest way possible, aren't you? Kind of wish that he had, and I know this is a 25th anniversary body, but kind of wishing that he had a trigger finger. The Sarge showers with his hat and whistle on. He is dedicated. He is dedicated. Oh, sorry, guys. I missed your comment over there. Is that the OG Comic Turtles or Playmates? It's the OG NECA. If you look up the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they came in circular or cylinder-styled carded packaging, right? And they're the original. So they all have red masks on, red knee pads, and red sashes for belts. So it's the original comic where they didn't even have different colored, you know, purple, red, blue, orange. Have I been playing PlayStation Wildlands? I played a little bit today, but I haven't been playing in a little bit. I've been playing a little bit sparingly here and there. Yeah, he doesn't hold his gun that well. Kylo Ren fan number 1, what's up? We were able to get the San Diego Comic-Con Cobra Commander in the black suit with a microphone, the podium last week. Do I have that figure? No, I don't, unfortunately. I do not. But that's a nice pickup, man. Nice pickup. Did you pick it up on eBay, or did you find a website? I want to say I think Big Boy Collectibles might have one. Big Boy Collectibles. You got it on eBay, Mint? Nice, man. That's dope. Great job, man. I'm gonna flip the. I might flip the camera over just so I can. You guys can see my face or whatever. Do some camera flippage. No, it's not allowing the flippage of the camera. Oh, there we go. Here we go. As you can see, the snow. There's my sun window. The snow is it's full. It's all full over here. Hello. Do I buy the Collectors Club figures? No, I don't buy the FSS ones. If I do happen to get one, it's due to I actually have a friend in Arizona that is subscribed to the FSS Club, and he usually will hook me up with stuff that he doesn't like. Sometimes he'll charge me, sometimes he won't. He'll just send me what he's like, oh, I got this wave. Do you want anybody from this wave? Like I wanted, who did I get last? Oh, he didn't want, wait. What was the last one I got? It's been a while. I think it might have been he sent me some exclusives too. Oh, he sent me Ghost Rider. Where is he? Oh, he's downstairs. Sorry. Ghost Rider's downstairs. But, yeah, he sent me Ghost Rider. I think that was the last one I got. Yeah, guys, they're based off those turtles are based off the original comic. So they're wearing all red sashes and stuff. Oreo's making weird noises. Trust me, or there's no dogs outside right now. It's like a freaking blizzard out. I gotta get some water. I'm like dying of thirst up here. Oreo, go get me a water. Oh wait, there's a water right there. Ah, score. Trying to block that light above me. Do I remember his name? Wait, whose name? Hello. Oreo says hello. But you can make him now with a... Do you know his name? I don't... Oh, Ghost Rider? Yeah. You got the FSS Range Viper, Commander, Skullbuster. I did a review of him a while ago. I was kind of underwhelmed, I'm going to be honest with you. I think I did a review a few months ago, back in like September, October. I've had him for a while, but yeah, I finally got him out of package, and I was just like, I don't know, he had like long, like gorilla arms, and then like his hands were kind of trash. He didn't grip things properly. It's not a horrible figure. He just has little nuances to him that I just don't care for. Yeah, his hands are weird because they gave him the same hands from Shadow Tracker, and that hand does not work if you're trying to holster a rifle. That hand is actually meant to use the bow and arrow. That's why he's like this. That's where that hand is from. I think I have him up here. Let me see. I'll show you what I mean. Where are you, sir? Here you are. Excuse me. See, it's underneath hand. You can see right there, it's shaped weird. It's the same hand as Shadow Tracker. It's the same exact hand. Right there. Come on, focus. Everything is trying to focus on something else, but it's the same exact hand. It works for Shadow Tracker. It doesn't work for him though. So I had to have him use his gun the other way. So he's just gripping the rifle this way, and he's holding the gun with his left hand. So he's a lefty. No big deal. You got the Alley Viper from that set with the OG colors. Oh, the Assault on Cobra Island, or Defense of Cobra Island. I like the I don't know. I like the Pursuit of Cobra one better. I passed on the that set. I'm doing the Jim the Anvil Neidhart, growing my goatee out, bro. Yeah, yeah, that's what it's meant for, Kylo. Yeah, because he comes with a bow. This was the original for that hand shadow tracker, and he comes with a bow and a quiver and an extra arrow, which is coming off right now. It always does. It always pops off. Pop it off. Come on, grab that and pop it off. There you go. But like he can grip edged weapons, stuff like that. Like everything that Shadow Tracker comes with, it works with this hand, just not a rifle. And Shadow Tracker doesn't really come with a rifle or any type of gun. So not that he needs it, because he has a friggin' bow and arrow. He doesn't need guns. He is ultimate badass. Yeah, I know. He's, like I said there's a new segment coming up of my favorite figures in my collection, where I'll be featuring one figure per video, and the video will be no longer than, I don't know, 5 minutes. Might be less than that. So expect him in one of those videos, maybe. Hint. He's one of my favorite figures in my entire collection. Only gripe I have with Shadow Tracker is his feet. It's really the only issue I have with him. I see a lot of like reviews, or I have seen, I should say, a lot of reviews on Shadow Tracker, and everyone has the same nitpick. They're all like, "Oh, he's too brightly colored," and I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" And I showed in my review. I purposely showed in my review, and if you actually go see Strident's review, he posted one way before I did. But if you see Strident's review of Shadow Tracker, he posts the same thing. He puts him in the woods because people are complaining, "Oh, he's wearing like neon yellow and he's too bright." Nah. You put him in the woods and you no, he's not going to see him. That's why I specifically put the end scene. I took photos of him around foliage and stuff like that, and you can't see him. You can't see me, John Cena style. Yeah, I heard about the G.I. Joe movie. I wish we got a Shadow Tracker movie instead. I wish they would go with a new character, or do something different. But, you know, they don't think anyone else will sell except for Snake Eyes, so. To be honest with you, I don't care that much about Snake Eyes. He's not, I don't know. Just personal preference wise, I know a lot of people like him. I don't really care for the character all that much, to be honest with you. Put him next to the Hayato. I did that in a review. Go check out the Hayatoys review. You still have to do a custom Shadow Tracker. You got the head off someone like 3 years ago. I have to sculpt the hair because it was cut off. Oh, that sucks, dude. Like Storm Shadow. I don't know. The whole ninja thing, I don't know. Like, it has a place. I'm not saying it doesn't. But once, like, Ninja Force started, all that shit really just turned me off. Even as a kid, I was just like, ugh. There's too much ninja-ing going on right now. If it was just Snake Eyes and it was just Storm Shadow and their backstory, that I didn't have a problem with that. But once Ninja Force happened, it just, ugh. I was like, okay, this is getting out of hand. This is getting a little out of hand here. Ninja Force killed G.I. Joe back in the day? I wouldn't say they killed it. It didn't help. There's a lot of different reasons why G.I. Joe was kind of going down the tubes back in the day, you know. I know. I mean, I thought it was cool that Scarlett, had a martial arts background, and that she was actually dating Snake Eyes. I thought that, that worked better than her and Duke. Because it gave you more of a sense of a more of a character, a sense of a character for Snake Eyes, because he's got a relationship. How does that work? The guy doesn't talk. How do you have a relationship with someone that doesn't talk? Obviously there's. I'm not saying he chooses not to talk. I should say it's not like he can't talk. The cesspool toxic viper stuff was goofy. I don't think people would be saying it's as goofy as it was if it was a little bit more subtle and it had different paint applications. If you gave them different paint applications, they weren't so loud, and you dumbed down, and you didn't have that stupid cesspool tank or whatever the hell it's called. If you gave them their own design and you worked with that theme, it could have worked. It could have worked. It can work now if they did it properly. Like if you wanted to give and this is the issue that G.I. Joe's had, especially with the movies. They're so afraid of doing terrorist anything, and they're saying, oh, terrorists won't work. Then go that route. Go the zombie, cesspool, all that route. Go that whole zombie initiative route. If you do it properly, it'll work. But obviously the 90s toys were it was a product of the 90s. Everything was loud. You had people running around in friggin' like turquoise and yellow tracksuits. People were wearing that stuff on the regular back in the day. People were running around with shoulder pads in their dress suits, Not just the women, the men too, So, it's kind of, they're a product of their time. It could work. It could have worked. It was a good premise, especially at the time, because zombies weren't really all as relevant as they are now. So it could have worked if they did it right. Because I know for a fact I have tons of ideas to if I ever get cesspool, which I would like to get. If I ever do get cesspool, I would like to actually do a custom cesspool is what I would like to do, because I'd like to give my own take on it. If they gave us like a Pursuit of Cobra version of cesspool and made him a little bit more realistic, more believable, it could have worked. Yeah, the toxic stuff can work. The toxic stuff can definitely work. It's all about how you use stuff, There's nothing sneakier than a neon ninja. The vehicle sucked though. Go back in the cesspool era. Yeah, they started retreading a little bit. There was some good stuff that came out, like the second. I don't mind. I have the second G.I. Joe base, so I didn't mind some of it, even though it's loudly colored. And you wouldn't have the Monster Blaster too. There's some good stuff. Pink tanks, yeah, What was it? That whole what was that thing called? I can't remember. I never owned it, but I always wanted to get it just to see if I could paint it and make it look a little bit more believable. That it was like blue and green, I think. The 4x4. You guys know what I'm talking about with the big Gatling gun on top. I can't remember the name of it offhand. People got a green G.I. Joe movie. It's called Expendables 2. Brian, yeah, pretty much any of the Expendables movies. The shoulder pads, man. Thin shades, yep. Yep. Shoulder pads, thin shades. Anything 90s, you know. Anything in the 90s was big and bright. Oh, you got it. Oh, you're at work, Kylo Ren fan? Okay, man. Take it easy, bro. Have a good night. No big deal. Like I said, if you guys are at work, go do your work, man. Have a good one, Kylo. Thanks for popping by. Thanks for hanging out just as much as you could. You know, thanks for even popping by. I appreciate it. It's nice talking to you. But yeah, I don't mind the toxic stuff. I think that stuff's pretty cool. Like I said, I want to get that zombie dog that they had. The last Joes I remember buying back in the day were Snake Eyes with goggles and the ski mask, Slice, and Screaming Grunt Face. Face Grunt. Oh, okay. Well, that was quite a while ago then. Dem Guts, you only collect vintage ones then? I thought you collect moderns. You got a lot of the new ones, yeah. I mean, like I said, I have a lot of my figures. I'm not going to reiterate the story because I know I probably have told you guys so many times, but a lot of my toys got destroyed a long time ago. There was a big flood that we had in our basement, and all my toys got destroyed. Blah 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 blah. A lot of the things that I had, you know, I had to reacquire, and it's taken a long time to reacquire those. You know, I didn't have every GI Joe when I was a kid. You know, my parents did not spoil me. But when I did get a figure, it was a big deal. You know, so I think that's why I have the appreciation for what I have now is because the way I was raised. You know, I was raised to appreciate what I have. I'm not saying any of you don't. I'm not saying that. I'm just, you know, giving you a little backstory about me. Got back into the Rise of Cobra, Pursuit of Cobra run. Yeah, I actually missed out on the Pursuit of Cobra run. I actually didn't start getting back into modern GI Joes. Like I started picking up the 25th anniversary ones when they came out in 2007, right on launch. Me and my friend Paul actually started getting into those right away. We were like, oh my God, it's our childhood in new toy form. It's fantastic. And then over time, he started getting newer molds and stuff like that. And then he started realizing, oh my God, these molds are kind of, you know, not necessarily the best. Like we didn't really get a good Duke until Pursuit of Cobra. You know, or yeah, Pursuit of Cobra, basically. You know, the movie ones were fine. I just, you know, it was that Tatum head. I just never believed Tatum as Duke. It wasn't, you know, the damn Tatum Duke. I could just stare at this figure all day. Friggin' love him. So good. That and Quinn. Quinn is so good. Quinn is so good. Where is Quinn? Let me go get Quinn. This dude is a beast. He is beast. I gave him a little boonie hat from Marauders. Sorry, it's wanting to focus on me. I'll flip the camera back around. This dude is beast. go. Look at that. Yep, that's right, Or. That's Quinn. That beard is beast. What's up, Anthony? How's it going, man? Yeah, the boonie hat works for him. There you go. I'll take the hat off real quick. There we go. Yeah, he looks badass, man. I love this figure. It's one of the best. It's one of the best retaliation figures, I think, as far as like articulation, sculpt, range of motion, overall, like everything on him. It looks awesome. All right, guys, take it easy, buddy. Hit me up if you're ever playing Ghost Recon. Hit me up, man. If you ever see me on, just hit me up, buddy. But yeah, I love this figure. It looks so good. It's not his original design, because his original design was he had a hood on and he was all geared up for the snow. But this is really solid. Like even his vest that you see right there is removable. You can remove that. He does come with pretty much everything you see here except for that sniper rifle. I added that sniper rifle to him. Yeah, I love the whale spear. Everything. It just works for him. So, and you really don't have to do much for him. I mean, he comes geared up. He's a tracker similar to Shadow Tracker. I like to kind of pair those two up. Being Cobra's trackers. I know he died in the comics, but I like to think maybe this is a descendant of Quinn. Maybe Quinn's nephew or his son or something like that. I wouldn't say he's thin. He's not thin. He's muscular. You can even see the sculpt of his calves, man. Look at those calves. I mean, compared to some of the others, let me just go get, all right, I'll put this in perspective for you. I'll be right back. I'll put this in perspective really quick. All right, here's a perfect example of someone who's too skinny. All right? Rock and Roll is entirely too small and skinny. Rock and Roll is supposed to be like, he's a weightlifter, he's a surfer, he's like supposed to be this big kind of muscular dude, and he looks like a shrimp. You know? Like compared to Quinn is beefy. You can just see like even their chest size. Like his chest is huge compared to Rock and Roll. Rock and Roll should be bigger than him. I don't really think Quinn is thin at all. I think he's pretty thick. Thick. Like here's my Rock and Roll. This is what I think Rock and Roll should look like. This is what Rock and Roll should look like. Let me get him out of the way real quick. That's Rock and Roll, not this. This is Dusty's body. That is Rock and Roll, not this shrimp. That's like imposter Rock and Roll. So Quinn, I believe Quinn is close to this bench press body, which is essentially Rock and Roll. Bench press. Get it? Bench press, Rock and Roll, he bench presses. But yeah, you could definitely see some similarities here between Quinn's body and Rock and Roll's. They're both thicker dudes. Look at that. Their arms are almost the same. I mean, they're obviously he's a little bit smaller, but you've got some variety there with the sculpts. Excuse me. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's kind of a that's kind of a nitpick, them guts. I mean, not everything is going to be accurate to the comic, especially when you're talking about a 3 3/4 inch figure. I mean, that's obviously blatantly obvious. Look at this shit. I mean, it's just if you're looking for accuracy, then GI Joe's not your thing as far as the figures go. They've never been really accurate to the comic, you know. But I think this is a good rendition for Quinn. I think overall, when you compare him to a lot of the other figures that came out in Retaliation, he's one of the best. It's arguably he might be the best. I think he's got the wrist swivels, the wrist hinges, and the proper type of hinges. He's got the hands that can actually grip a gun. He can two-hand a gun and look down the sights proper. He's got good range of motion in those swivels for the elbow. Good range of motion for the bend. It's a little bit more than 90 degrees. Double jointed knees that are like kind of Marvel Legends style double jointed knees. The ankles are very well done. Overall, the paint apps on him are really good too. I think he's a very underrated figure. And he comes with the stuff that he should come with. Things that make sense for him. So I will always dig this figure. Oop, his hat's crooked. There we go. Excuse me. Yeah, the Joe Troopers always rock. That's another one of the best Hasbro body molds that they've ever come out with. I think. Let's get him out of the way. Yep. I agree. Especially with articulation, range of motion, the things that this body is able to do. I mean, let me get him sitting. Pretty sure I can get him sitting. Man, look. Let me see how crunched up I can get him. Look at that. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. So good. He's all crunched up here. I mean, you don't get the amount of range of motion and articulation with some of the 25th anniversary ones that you do with the Joe Trooper. You know. Plus these Joe Trooper bodies, they can always look down the sights. They can pretty much do what you need them to do. And they have ankle pivot too, which some people don't like. I don't mind whether they have a swivel or an ankle pivot. I don't really care either or. I know Hasbro has given some figures ankle pivot, and it's been kind of a failure. But for the most part, with the Joe Trooper bodies, I think their ankle pivot works perfectly. Like I said, action figure expert, it's an arguable point. I mean, you could say that Firefly is the best. It comes down to personal preference. Really, a lot of things come down to personal preference when you think about it. This is why I always laugh when people argue about things like if a movie is good or not, because that's one of the most subjective things that you could choose to rate. This is why I don't ever listen to critics, because critics will give you their opinion, and it's nothing's really based on. I mean, you can base some fact on that on movies, but really, at the end of the day, it comes down to your opinion on things. So, I mean, opinions are always going to vary, especially when it comes to figures. I still think the Pursuit of Cobra Firefly is the best Firefly. That's just what I think. I think as far as unique design looks, I think they went well and above anything else. Every other Firefly just looks like every other Firefly besides the Pursuit of Cobra one. And they gave you the option to even make it look like the original one. To me, it's the best Firefly. But I think it's a shame that a lot of people don't like the head that he actually came with, the unique looking alien style head, the helmet, because it's like that's an original sculpt. I don't think it was ever used with anybody else, and people just kind of threw it to the side because it looked different. And I'm like, oh, come on, man, that's like one of the best parts of the figure, you know. Because it's unique, you know. I'm not saying just like it because it's unique, because there's a lot of unique stuff that looks like crap. But like I said, it all comes down to, you know, subjective points of view. Yeah. I don't think Hasbro will ever be able to top Pursuit of Cobra. I think it was like that was the peak. That was their peak. That was their peak, and that was it. I've seen a lot of people like getting started complaining about the FSS club ending and stuff like that. I guess Joe Fest sold out already. I was actually considering going this year, but that sold out too quickly. So I might just go to New Jersey Comic Con instead. I think I actually might have more fun at New Jersey Comic Con, to be honest with you. As much as I love G.I. Joe, I think I might have more fun at New Jersey Comic Con. Plus, Marauders shows up at New Jersey Comic Con every year, and the Four Horsemen usually do. So, you know, and they usually have a booth selling figures. So, I don't know if anybody in that area is considering going. You could do like a meetup or something like that. I think that'd be pretty fun. But let me get these guys out of here. There we go. But yeah, I felt so bad today. I called let me get this back in here. I felt so bad today. When I woke up, because I wake up, I worked like crazy hours this week, so I woke up late and I work weird hours, so what we call it, I called it, ordered a pizza, and the guy kept getting stuck coming down my street. And I'm like, oh, God, now I feel like such an ass. So I definitely hooked him up with a nice tip, and I got him unstuck. Me and another guy that lives down my street, it's really cool. Got him unstuck. I gave my the guy that lives down my street a slice of pizza, and, you know, I felt bad ordering the pizza. I felt like a dick. I was like, why did I make this poor man come down my street right now? You're in New York City. You're in New York City. I'd rather go there than here. Really? What was that? I went to New York Comic Con a few years ago. I want to say back in 2013, and I was telling myself, you know, maybe I'll go back. Maybe I'll go back. It's just it was just too many people. I guess I don't know what it is. Call me a introvert. But when it comes to a lot of people, let me flip the camera back around here. When it comes to like a lot of people, I don't know. I just call me a sucker for wanting some space, you know? It bugs me. I think this thing has gotten more full. there was like a little bit of, now there's no window left. Yeah, there's just too many people, you know. If I were to ever move out of here, I would probably go someplace a little bit less busy, you know. Wish some third-party company would make 16 scale, wait, 1/6 scale weapons, like guns and rifles. I mean, you could always use like older GI Joe stuff for 1/6 scale. I know there's like a lot of those like older 1/6 scale 12-inch figures. You could probably find some stuff on eBay pretty well. I wouldn't be surprised if Marauder does it eventually, but here's the catch with 1/6 scale weapons is that the plastics are bigger, and not a whole lot of people buy 12-inch figures. You know, there's obviously the people that buy like the Hot Toys stuff like that. I have a couple Hot Toys. I don't have a lot, but there's some people that only collect Hot Toys or only collect 12-inch figures. Period. And but I feel like that's few and far between. Like I get your pain, but I feel like it wouldn't sell that well. That's why people I think stay away from them. They stick with the 3 3/4 inch or the 6-inch. But I feel your pain, action figure expert. I understand what you mean. You're with you can't do crowds, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of 1/6 scale figure weapons or weapons for figures on eBay. You can find a bunch of them. I would definitely suggest looking at some GI Joe 12-inch auctions because that'll probably help you out. Oh, I know. Oriole's getting hungry. He's trying to tell me he's hungry. Come on, say hi to everybody. Up, come on, come on up, come on. Come on. He's like he's pawing at me. Come on up. Say hi. Come on. Come on up. Come on. There you go. There's the good old boy. There you go. Say hi to everybody, or look. I know. Say hello. Okay, he's done. He's over it. Oh, you meant 6-inch. Yeah, Marauders, action figure expert, Marauders make 6-inch weapons, dude. Go check them out. They've had them up for almost a year. Go to the 112, where you go to maraudersinc.com, go to the 112 scale weapons. On the front page, it'll be right underneath the Marauders Gunrunners logo. It should be, I want to say, the bottom red indicator category, I should say. It'll be in red, and it'll be on the not the bottom of the page, but the bottom of the front. I'm explaining this horribly. Like when as soon as the page pulls up, it'll say Marauders Gunrunners right here. Then there'll be a whole bunch of red bars. It'll be on the bottom of that red bar, one of the last ones. But yeah, they sell 6-inch ones, 112 scale. I'm surprised. I don't think this is the thing. I'm surprised more Marvel Legends collectors haven't hit up Marauders for their weapons. I've seen a whole bunch of people on the Marvel Legends community and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh man, I wish someone sold weapons." I'm like, guys, come on. I'm sending everyone links, and they're like, "Oh my god, I had no idea." The Joe versions look bad. Oh wait, I missed a bunch of stuff. My subs are growing. Sweet. Thanks, man. Yeah, action figure expert. Go check out maraudersinc.com. They'll have them. The Joe versions look bad. Easy, simple. Had and how to put something. There's something with these Japanese companies selling 1/12 weapons. They look kind of expensive. What Japanese company? It's probably just maybe knockoff weapons or something. Where did I do it? Where did I put Doc? Oh, Doc, where'd you go? I must have put him in here. Damn it, Doc. There he is. I love the way this figure turned out. Can't get enough of this Doc. That's another thing I want to finish. I did Doc. Now I want to start getting some more of the Rainbow Six Siege characters because I think they're unique looking enough. All my Joes have Marauders weapons. It gave Sci-Fi the Marauders alien rifle because of obvious reasons. Nice, man. Yeah, anytime, action figure expert. No problem, bud. I'm glad to help out any way I can. Go get yourself some 6-inch action figure weapons, man. They make their plastics are really good. That's some of the best thing about Marauders, that the quality of their plastics are pretty damn good. Did any of you guys make any purchases from the new stuff? I would eventually like to get more of the, or I'd like to get at least one. I don't have one because I didn't go all in with that. But I would like to get some of those female agent figures. I know those are probably selling out. I'm not too worried if they sell out because the Marauders is always really good at restocking stuff. Platts and Little Armory make 1/12 scale guns. Cool. I got to get Boomstick up. That's the one thing I wish that Ghost Recon Wildlands had. It still baffles me that there's two things that you can't do. Well, there's a bunch of things that you can't do in that game, but there's two major things that I wish you were able to do. Three. Jump. I don't know why you're not allowed to jump in the game. 2, roll or strafe roll side to side or front and back. And 3, why are there no bazookas or RPGs or grenades, or not grenade launcher because there's a grenade launchers, but why is there none of that stuff? Why are there no rocket repelled missiles, bazookas and whatnot? That stuff should all be in the game. I don't get why that stuff's not in the game. Yup, you dropped 2 bills today on Marauder stuff. Holy shit. I didn't drop that much. But good for you, man. There's a lot of good stuff on there, Woodman. Yeah, I agree, them guts. Future Soldier was the best part. Was the best Thompson Clancy game ever? I can't read. I can't read. I never played I can't talk. I never played Future Soldier, so I can't compare. I would like to, though, down the line. I picked up the new night vision goggles and the face mask. Really sweet accessories. Nice. Nice. Oh, yeah, I get it, Whitman. Yeah, all that stuff dropped. And I was actually surprised because it dropped a couple days ago. And I made my, what was that? I made my order last night. And see, with me, it always takes me a while to like, because I don't just like get, I'm not just like, I want that, want that, want that, want that. I have to like think of a full recipe for a character. And then if I'm using it off a character that's established already, I usually try to compare it with a picture of the character. So I'm trying to like build the figure off of the actual design, actual artwork. So it's, you know, it takes me forever to make a purchase from Marauders. Sometimes I've gone like a full day, not just sitting on their website, obviously, but thinking about stuff and like trying to like IDW Chuckles. Yep. Yep. He's on the list to do. I really didn't like the 25th anniversary Chuckles or the 50th anniversary Chuckles. I didn't like either one. I thought they were kind of. I didn't like Chuckles' hands on the 25th, and his elbow bends were trash. Because he had the 25th anniversary range of motion. Not very good. Same thing with the that was always the issue I had with the Cobra Troopers. That's why I got a whole bunch of Marauders Cobra Troopers. Because the old 25th anniversary Cobra Troopers can't bend their elbows to save their lives. Like if they had to aim down a weapon, they'd be aiming it down like this. with their head all the way over here. Like the gun would be like way out here. Yeah, I was actually thinking about doing a sled team for these guys or Snow Job. Well, I'm glad you guys like the figures I do. I feel like some of them are kind of blah, you know. Some of them are kind of bland. Like I'm still kind of annoyed with myself with this because I didn't really put that much. I should have put more time into this. I didn't. I feel like it's kind of shitty. But I think you guys will like the next one I'm coming out with. Hopefully it works out. I had to get a head that may or may not work. And I might have to mod the head, not in the way of fitment, but in the way of look. So it looks like the character I'm going for. So I'm kind of iffy on the head. Hopefully if that head does not work out, I can maybe find a head that's close to it that someone else has offered prior, like maybe Hasbro head or a custom head. No, it's not Rampart, but I want to do Rampart because initially I was actually going to get Rampart, but I'm not paying $40 or $50 for him. Actually, now I think he goes for like 60 or 70. I'm just like, ugh, with that stuff. So it's just silly. I'd rather spend 25 and make my own Rampart, or 30. You know, if I have to spend 30 on a Rampart, fine. I'd rather spend that than spend 50, 60, $70 on a Rampart from FSS that I don't think is very good, on a body that I don't think is very good. I think it's those bodies are just outdated. What's that? I missed him. Oh, it's that. It's my version of Nomad from the Wildlands. You know how pretty much in the game, like I haven't even painted him yet. He's missing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't have pockets on him. He's not very well done. It's just not a very well done figure. I shouldn't have done that video when I did. It kind of lacked vision, and now he's falling apart. Dropping stuff. You're dropping your ACOG on the ground, you ding dong. lack vision and discipline. But I'll fix him up. Don't worry. We'll do a update for him down the road. No, it's not Rampart. It's Nomad from my version of Nomad, my own design. Ionic Blood. Ionic Blood 666 says new Chuckles recipe. Marauders contract our. Marauders contract ops lower. Agent ops upper. Rolled sleeves. Some sky blue paint. Flower decor. Bam, Chuckles. Yeah, that could work. You could really, I mean, Chuckles wears different types of, I mean, you could pretty much make up your own. It doesn't have to be, you know, the exact design, you know. You could actually just go with whatever. Like the 50th anniversary one had him with like a, what was it, like a red, what was that? That ugly, stupid, ugly Chuckles. Where are you at, Chuckles? Bring your crooked-eyed ass over here. This friggin' ugly thing. He like spray tanned. Hold on. He like spray. He like. Oh my god! I can't. I'm losing at everything. He like spray tanned, and then his eyeballs are all over the place. Woof. See, and that's the thing. Like, I could get him a new head. But then the head won't match the skin tone, and rather just make my own. He looks like Malibu Ken. He does. He looks like an idiot. He looks like he's confused and he doesn't know where to go because, like, he's doing one of these. You ready? Ooh. He's doing one of those. Oh, was ACR? It's an ACR with an extended stock. Whew, doing eye workouts. Horzo, what's up, man? You enjoy my Mythic Legions insight, and you actually got me into collecting them. Morgulith is one of my favorite characters a long time. Oh yeah, Morgulith's great. There she is. She is fantastic. This stupid light, I'm going to punch it. Let me get him out of the way. Hold on. I'm going to shift over here. There we go. That's a little bit better. There we go. Now it's not so bright. But yeah, she's gorgeous, man. She is awesome. I think the other half of me that, or the major part of me that likes her so much is that this head isn't just a hollow head. Like, this is all thick, full plastic right here. Look how thick that head is. That's not hollow. That is all plastic. I mean, it does make her a little top heavy, but that is, and I like all the texturing right there on her head too. It looks pretty cool. She's an awesome figure. She is an awesome one. I will say this though. This does kind of spread her hands out a little bit farther than I like, but she can still hold it nonetheless. She holds it fine. Yeah, I know, like an alien queen. I know exactly what you're talking about. The alien queen crest. That long, huge crest. I might actually, thank God for overtime. But I might actually end up picking up. I'm glad someone brought up the alien queen because I'm trying to track down. I actually pre-ordered the alien queen from NECA. So I might be getting her soon and doing that review. And I hear that that figure is huge. I've seen reviews on it, and it is rather large. So maybe that review is coming up. A whole lot of NECA goodness is coming up too, along with the usual GI Joe stuff and Marauder stuff and Mythic Legion stuff isn't going anywhere. Actually, I think I saw Big Bad Toy Store just put up. If you guys missed out on the pre-order for the Ogres, the Mythic Legions Ogres wave, and I think they threw in a couple new characters in there too. That whole wave is up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store. So if you guys want to check that out, I'm pretty sure that I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that Big Boy Collectibles might get a pre-order too. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that, but they actually have Big Boy Collectibles also has the previous wave up for pre-order. So free plug for them. Free plug for them. But yeah, as far as like pretty much what the majority of the stuff that I'm collecting right now is like NECA, Marauders, and Mythic Legions. Those are the big three right now, I want to say. I want to get the rest of the Black Series solo cast too. So I'd like to get those too. I really love this Han Solo. It looks so good. He looks so damn good. I still think it's the best Black Series head sculpt for Han Solo. Looks so damn good. I think by design, I still like the A New Hope Han Solo, but this is a good one too. Hiya, Joy Toy, Kotobukiya, yeah. Nice. Oh, I know all that. Well, that's because I think the majority of why NECA stuff is coming out so much is because a lot of this stuff was shown like years ago, and NECA takes a while once they release something. Like a lot of the stuff that was like even shown like 2 years ago hasn't even been released. And there's some stuff that has to do with licensing, other stuff. So some stuff does get put on hold. But also what they're trying to do is the reason why there's a lot of stuff coming all out at once. Like this 2-pack was very sought after. And these were originally single-carded releases. This 2-pack was a kind of a big deal. And these were re-releases, but on newer bodies, better bodies, to be honest with you. And they came with more than they initially did. The paint apps are better on these, I think. The new 2-pack, the quality control is better. And they're on the newer bodies. So that's good. So they have double jointed knees and double jointed elbows, where these older guys, like this guy right here, like the Crack Tusk, he has single jointed elbows, and he doesn't have a torso swivel. So that was kind of the issue. But yeah, there's a whole lot of like Predator, good Predator stuff coming out, which is good because they needed updates for like the longest time. I'm hoping that some of like the older Alien figures, they were having issues too with their figures as far as quality control goes. I would hope that maybe down the line they'll start re-releasing some of those. Maybe like the dog Alien had some issues with its joints being really loose or really being over too stiff and then snapping. Some of the Xenomorph Warriors had some quality control issues with very stiffened joints to the point where you couldn't get them to stand the way you really wanted them to, like if you wanted to have them crouched or whatever. I think for the most part, the Xenomorph Warriors were kind of more of an Erectus style. They were more upright like humans anyway. They did crawl around and stuff, but Like same thing with the drones. I believe the xenomorph drones were more of a kind of a standing up, and then when they would start running, they'd go on all fours. But the dog alien or the runner is the technical term for is the runner, because I believe in what was it, Alien 3, the theatrical release had the chest burster coming out of a dog, and then the assembly cut, because there was no director's cut, the assembly cut had it was initially a ox. So it all depends on which one you preferred more, but initially it's called the dog alien because that was the theatrical release. So, but the dog alien would always, or the runner would go on all fours all the time. So I always liked the dog alien. I thought it was cool. Whether it was a dog or an ox, I never really cared. But I do prefer the assembly cut over the theatrical release, because the theatrical release of Aliens 3 was it was shortened. You didn't really have a chance to get in a good grasp on who is who. You couldn't really relate to some of these characters. Not that you would relate to a bunch of prisoners anyway, but the point I'm trying to make is that you couldn't really feel something for these characters after they were being killed off. It was just like, oh, that guy got killed off. I could care less. I don't know anything about him. There was no real build for the characters. There was no story arc at all for some of them, because there were so many of them in that. Anyway, I'm sorry. I know I went off on a rant on Alien 3 for some reason. I don't know why. But I think I started with quality control, and then I started talking about Alien 3. Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what. The runner alien in Alien 3, I think killed over 20 people in that film. I think there was like total I want to say there was around 25, 26 kills in Alien 3. And the majority of that was the runner alien killing people, or the dog, or the ox alien, whatever you want to call it. But he had a lot of kills, and that was just one alien the entire movie. Well, technically, the chest burster at the end, but if you watch the assembly cut, see now in the assembly cut, at the end where Ripley falls back into the lava or fire or whatever, the chest burster doesn't come out. But in the theatrical cut, I guess the what was it? They wanted the chest burster to come out for an effect, but they removed it because initially it wasn't supposed to come out at all. It was supposed to die with her, but they wanted the chest burster to come out. I believe the the filming company wanted it to come out. All right, sorry, I'm done with my rant on aliens. Who was hard to kill? The Crusher. The Crusher was hard to kill in Alien Infestation. Oh yeah, the Gorilla Alien's really cool figure that I hope gets re-released too. I actually like that design. I think that design is like, could you imagine like how scary a fucking gorilla alien would be? I'm not messing with that thing. No, thank you. The Mantis alien was pretty cool too. That was from the old, I believe the Gorilla alien and the Mantis alien were all from that old Kenner line. A lot of the Predators that they're releasing now are from the old Kenner line too. Who else is? Do I have anybody up here from the Kenner line? I don't. But even the clan leader, one of my favorite NECA Predators, he was from the Kenner line. There was actually some pretty cool designs, pretty cool ideas for Predators and aliens. I know a lot. I was talking to one guy on a forum, on an alien forum, and he was saying, "How the hell could a mantis get a chest burster?" I'm like, dude, that's not how it works. They were playing with genetics, and they infused the DNA of an alien with that of a mantis, and out you came with a mantis alien. It didn't. A friggin' insect didn't have a chest burster that grew to be 4 times the size of it, or 100 times the size of it. You had the Kenner gorilla alien with the water spitting action. Yeah, I have. I think I still have. I'll have to go check my parents' house, but I think I still have the Kenner Queen alien. I think I still have that somewhere. I'll have to look for it. I still want to do that segment where I go to my parents' house and I just get a bunch of old unboxings. You know what I had a whole lot of? I used to have the entire collection. I don't have it anymore. I sold a bunch of them off. But all the old WWE Jax classic superstars figures, I had oh my god, I had a ton of those. I sold like half the collection off. But I still have a majority of them. I never sold any of my Shawn Michaels ones or anything like that. I think I actually have one from, there was a 2-pack, a really awesome 2-pack with, there's actually 2 I got signed. One was Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels signed it at a convention. They both signed it, and it was my Montreal Screwjob one. Then the other one was the Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin WrestleMania 13. So I have a whole bunch of those. But I have all these old like old Aliens figures, old X-Men figures, a whole bunch of cool stuff from the 90s. You just got some... You just got some Rebel Tech figures coming in the mail from Japan. Nice. You know what? I'll say this. Whenever I order something from like China or Japan, like that shit ships a lot quicker than it used to. And I'm just comparing not even that far back, like 2014, 2015, to now. I remember back then it used to take weeks or a month, maybe more than a month. Now it's like, it's here in like a week. It's insane how fast things are expedited and shipped and clear customs, and that's usually a long process, because they have to open up the package, take a look, put everything back, blah blah blah. But everything gets shipped so quick nowadays. It's insane. It makes me like wonder, like what's the future? Like what's going to be faster? If something ships from friggin' Japan or China within a week or less than that sometimes. Like what's the step up from that? Like what's it going to be, like 2 days shipping down the road? About 2 weeks? Even 2 weeks isn't bad. 2 weeks isn't bad. Remember like the old like oh my god. Remember like old G.I. Joe days where we get like do a mail order one? And it would take like 14 to 16 weeks. And you're like, I remember finally getting the G.I. Joe in the mail. I'm like, oh, I don't remember ordering that. I don't even remember putting in my points to get this. Because it was so long, Oh no, that the Woodman, the one video I did in the basement, that was just my basement. That was actually my basement. The one I have a whole bunch of stuff at my parents' house. Do I collect Transformers? No, I refuse to go down that rabbit hole. There's only one. I would like to get one definitive Ironhide, because he was always one of my favorites. I would like to get Strident actually gave me one Ironhide, and he's downstairs in my display. But I have Ironhide, and I really don't have any Transformers. Even as a kid, I was mostly G.I. Joe. I had some Transformers, but I was more so G.I. Joe, X-Men, most of the Kenner stuff, like the Alien stuff, Batman, DC stuff. I didn't have like a whole lot of Transformers. I think I only had like an Optimus Prime, a G1 Optimus Prime. I had a G1 Ironhide. I don't really think I had anything else. Oh, I had a Megatron, so they could fight. They had someone to fight, and I would always do like those 3 figures. I would just have them fight each other. I know it sounds kind of lame, but you know, I didn't have every figure. But yeah, I can't do the Transformers. It's a too expensive. Same thing with the Motu stuff. I had a whole bunch of Motu stuff growing up as a kid too. That's another line I forgot I had. But I can't do it. I got into Motu Classics way too late. They're way too expensive now. The ones I really want, like Fisto, are ridiculous, like $200. I'm like, that's just stupid. I'm not paying that much. You received a Transformers set from Amazon Japan 2 days ago. I was shocked. I know. It's so quick. It's so quick. Oh, the fridge. The fridge took forever. Yeah, what was it? What was my mail away figure that took forever? I'm trying to think. I think it was. Who was it? I'm trying to think. I think I still have him. I don't think he's here though. I think he's at my parents' house. But who was the mail away figure? Oh, I'm trying to think. I think it might have been. Was it Sarge? I think it might have been Sarge. But I was super excited to get that. I couldn't wait. It felt like a year passed before I got Sarge. You know. My mother always threw out my points with the card. Oh, it sucks. I'll say this: if it weren't for my mother, she was like, "No, you need to save these." And I was like, when I was a kid, I would just like fucking rip the thing open. I never cared about packaging and threw it right out. And she was like, "No, you need to save these to get a figure." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So if it weren't for my figure, weren't for my mother explaining things, and I would have thrown out a whole bunch of them too. Do you think my ADD's bad now? Holy shit, was it worse when I was a kid? You only have Jazz, Megatron, Soundwave. I always wanted Soundwave. I never got a chance to get them. My friend had one. I had a friend that lived up the street from me, my friend Chris, and he had like, oh my god, he had a friggin' flag. He had the Terradrome. He had like every Motu figure you could ever think of. He had because he had an older brother that was like way older than him. I want to say about 10 to 12 years older than him. So he had like all these old vintage Star Wars figures with their with all their vehicles and stuff like that. Like he had everything. He went to this kid's house and it was like a fucking walked into Toys R Us. I was always jealous as a kid. I was like, oh man. But he was cool though. He always let me like play with everything. He was never like one of those kids that were stingy. There's a couple of those kids when like when you, I don't know if you guys grew up with anybody like this, but you would go over their house and they'd be like, "Oh, you want to play in my room?" And like I remember one time I went in this kid's room to play, and we're kids, and I think we were only like, I don't know, 7 years old, and like he's playing with his toys, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, which one can I be?" And he's like, "Here, you can play with that." And it was like some shit that like a little kid's toy, like a little kid's toy, like a preschool toy. And he's playing with he's got like a pile. He's like just one of those stingy little asshole kids that grew up with a fucking silver spoon in his mouth. And I hate people like that. He wouldn't share. He wouldn't share. I mean, I was like, why did you ask me to come here? I remember telling him, I was like, why did you ask me to come in here if I can't play with anything? Yeah, Dem Guts, hit me up on Facebook. Post post a picture on or post a picture either on my Facebook page or post it on the Strident Facebook page. You have a friend that's like that until this day? Even family? Oh, geez. Yeah, I tried to stay away from those kids. Strident doesn't like your 3A collection. Why did he say something? Sorry, I'm playing with Han Solo. I can't help it. Too expensive? Well, I mean, you like what you like. If you can afford it, you can afford it. To each their own, you know. Holy shit! All right, I gotta get going, guys. I do have to feed the Oreo. He's looking at me. I know you're so hungry. I know. I gotta feed the Oreo, so it's time for him to eat, and then I gotta let him out. And he's definitely not going for a WALK. That's not helping. Not in this. Not in this silliness. That silliness. I wish this house didn't come with a damn sunroof. I hate sun windows. I just can't stand them. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I know this was kind of like an impromptu review hangout, but you know, I wanted to hang out with you guys. Definitely expect a regular review tomorrow. It will be uploaded tomorrow, and I actually shot a whole bunch of reviews. I want to say I shot about 4 reviews. So expect reviews the next couple days. They're coming. It's just there's been a whole lot of like me working, a whole lot of me editing, doing a whole bunch of stuff. On top of that, I got to spend time with this little monster right here. So, and have a social life on top of that. So, but I'm glad to hang out with it. Thanks so much for everybody hanging out today. Let me give everybody a shout out if I can. If the chat will go for that far back. Crash, thanks for popping by. Arkham89, be sure to check out Arkham89's channel. He's got a great channel too. Gaz, as always, I know you're not here, brother, but thanks for popping by. Tim Casa, JD Gibson, Woodman, Action Figure Expert. Always a pleasure talking to you guys. Dem Guts. SSWC. Kylo Ren fan. Try not to skip over anybody. Did I already say action figure expert? Yes, I did. I know, I'm coming, bud. I know. Anthony Aguilar, thank you for popping by. Oh, and also to everybody, if I see any more names, I'll pop in here really quick. Let me just keep scrolling. I'm sorry if I missed your name. Ionic Blood 666. Thanks for stopping by. Is it Horzo? I think that's right. If I'm not saying that right, I apologize. Integra R2. I used to own an Integra, by the way. I know, bud. But thanks to everybody. Oh, just to note, I haven't sent anybody's stuff out because it's been a disaster the last couple days. As soon as this weather kicks over and we're not in a state of emergency anymore here in my area, I will get this stuff out as fast as possible. I'm still waiting. Like I said, what was his name? Invader 6, Dark Lord Cobra 66. I still need. I need at least your email so I can email the gift certificate to you. So if you're watching this, please email me, or not email me, send me your email via Facebook on my Facebook page. So that'll help a lot. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out. Thank you to everybody. You guys have a great night. If you're in a shitty area like I am, stay warm, stay safe, watch a whole bunch of movies, and hopefully this weather gets the hell out of here quick. It's supposed to be 40 degrees in like 2 days from now, so hopefully this goes away. But yeah, you guys have been awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out with me.